Hello, everyone. Welcome to the network. Welcome to the Two Dads edition.
Wait, that's not it.
Start again.
Two Dads, Gen X edition. That's a great beginning.
What's up, dude?
How you doing? How
Man,
you doing?
we had a
I got
great...
like Barry White in my voice right now. Hey, baby.
It's so not Barry. You're like Barry White.
I am very white.
You're like a strawberry whiteness with a semi-deep voice and a high pitch of nothingness.
Now you sound like you're on Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail.
No means no. Everyone. Actually, that sounds like Willow.
I was thinking the Knights Who Say Knee.
Oh, yeah. I was going to do that, too.
Yeah. We are the Knights Who Say Knee.
Eeky, bing, bing. So, we had great 2 last episodes with Vanessa.
Yes, we did. She's pretty cool.
About dating and all that great stuff and the dating apps and, meeting people. So, today, I would love to talk about building your confidence up with rejection because, you have none.
Something I've experienced a lot of.
And what really, as I was kind of like working this episode out and kind of figuring out what we should go over, Crazy Stupid Love popped in my head.
That was a great movie. I totally relate to Steve Carell's character. Steve Carell, excuse me.
Steve Carell's.
Sorry, Steve. Not that I know you, but Steve.
Well, and I relate to
Carell.
both. Like I actually had both kind of in my life, and
You think you're that much of a player, huh?
No, not now. No, ever. No, I actually never ever thought I was a player. But hey, Jason, go ahead and play the clip so people kind of know what we're talking about.
I'm gonna help you rediscover your manhood. Do you have any idea, like, where you lost it?
So, like, in that clip where Steve Carell, gosh, that's horrible, but he's like telling everybody in the bar about his wife cheating and all this other stuff.
Yeah, like for 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not that it was like for 2 days, but when my first
it was
divorce,
like 2 weeks for you.
it was longer than that. It was horrible. No, but it was like that was because the divorce was so fresh and because it was so volatile and there was so much that went on. It was like that became the topic of conversation with dating, where I was just like, yeah, I've been through all this stuff, whatever. It was awkward.
Yeah.
It was really hard to date.
Well,
I want to put that caveat there. To date, it was really hard to date.
Now I know why nobody would talk to you. I was like, oh, God, who's coming over? Why does he keep knocking his drink over when he turns? Bartender, another one, please. God, he's drinking so fast.
No, but I mean, it's you go through something like that, and it's so fresh and so painful that it's hard not to talk about it. And so Steve Carell's character, that's his experience. I relate to that. Well,
and that's where we would say therapy is where you do that. After a divorce, I learned that too. And I can actually, like I said, I can relate to both characters, not like the player part, but when I had confidence.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
what's that like?
It wasn't like easy to pick up girls or anything like that. It was just, you went out to just go have fun and enjoy the night. And if I saw somebody that I was interested in, I was able to just go up and talk to them.
See, I've always been awkward like that. I've never been able to do that effectively.
You've always been awkward. And the thing is like, even when we were growing up, girls liked you. And I would tell you, I'm like, hey, Jason.
I was oblivious.
And you're like, what are you talking about? That wall likes me. No, man, get off the fucking wall. Like,
I wasn't on the wall.
Go and talk to the girls.
No, there was a girl in high school that, like, after I graduated, and she was like, I think she graduated like the year after me or something like that. We saw each other at a football game or something. I was watching my younger brother play, and she's like, hey, why didn't you ever ask me out? And I'm like, you would have gone? Crap,
son of a.
Yeah, she was pretty hot.
Well, and the reason I bring up this movie, because
she was cool too.
For me, she was cool. For me, actually watching this movie actually kind of helped me understand, oh shit, maybe I'm doing that too.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe I need to learn how to find my confidence back and find a way to get in there, talk to people, and kind of learn that it doesn't fucking matter if someone tells you no or they rejects you.
Yeah.
And the whole point of finding someone is to go through rejection and finding yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I still experience that, but I'm a lot better at handling it it's still personal. It still feels like a personal kind of dig, but yeah, it's part of life. Being rejected is part of life.
It is. So let's get into this.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, you seem a little off.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what I want.
Yeah, me too. Why don't you say it at the same time? 1, 2, 3.
I want a divorce.
So when you jump into this, kind of want to go for the first segment. Like I want to think about rejection back when
we were teenagers. Yeah, where I got it a lot
in the 80s and compared to now. And my great comparison, honestly, like I think of Pretty in Pink when Ducky's rejected by Andy.
Oh yeah, and he like plays it off as if no big
cool,
deal,
man.
but then he's like bawling his eyes out.
Yeah. And that like hit me hard in the 80s because I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I also think of
yeah, keep thinking. Keep thinking.
90210.
90210. Okay.
So Steve, his senior year, walks up to a girl and just fucking grabs her and kisses her. And he goes, I've wanted to do that all 4 years. And it's so funny because I saw that and I literally went to school the next day and walked up to Brooke and grabbed her and kissed her. And I go, God, I want to do that for 4 years.
You know what the difference is between when we were graduating and now?
You could do that back then. Now it'd be assault and
yeah, you'd be like they wouldn't give you your diploma. You'd have to repeat the first grade. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Anyway, but in my yearbook, she goes, I waited for you to ask me out after that, but I was still fucking scared to do it because I was so worried she would say no, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's kind of how it was because back then, like I literally had the cojones to just walk up to anybody, and I think I learned the art of observation, understanding and listening, active listening to scenarios around me, and then I was able to interject a comedic response to it.
Yeah, see, that's part of what you're good at is the comedic response. That's one of the things that I've always been a little envious of because it's like, Dawson's so great with girls. I feel so awkward.
I'm so not though. But the thing is the rejection now, like when I was on dating apps and Bumble and you think you had a really good night or you met somebody and they give you, like, I never asked for numbers.
Yeah.
It was always like, there's times like I thought I had a great connection all night long. We danced, good time. And I'm like, all right, hey, I'll see you later. And they're like, okay. And I'm like waiting for them to go, hey, do you want my number?
Right.
And I'm like, and then like it rarely happened, but I never asked for numbers.
Well, see, that's where
Not never. I guess I did a couple times.
That's where I stumbled too, where it's like, and this is I think one of the differences from when we were younger to now, where it's like, back then you were actually in front of the person, and so you could see body language, facial expression, tone of voice. If you went up and you're like, "Hi, I'm James," and they're like,
what the fuck?
You knew you were rejected.
Who are you, motherfucker?
Yeah. But now it's like, especially on the apps and stuff, you send a note, you send a message, whatever it is. Hey, I like this picture, whatever. You just get ghosted. There's no feedback whatsoever half the time. Or like you start a conversation, it seems like it's going well, and then it just ends.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I learned kind of right away, that you have to be not one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. You have to have layers. And
I got layers.
Well, you're losing.
I wear a coat.
You're losing a lot of your layers.
I got a shirt.
We're not
Socks.
playing strip poker. It's like, hey, let's play strip poker. I'll be right back. 17 coats. I guess you were getting pornographic right there. He threw down the third porn music. No, but like, I learned a lot of time, like, if you're one-dimensional, women don't like that. They want somebody that's spontaneous but dependable. They want somebody that's inventive but dependable.
Keep going.
Erratic and has money. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, money is, no.
No, so, like, there are things that I learned right away.
Okay.
Never going to fucking buy a drink for a girl because I want to know if they actually are there to meet somebody.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to motivations, right? Motivations to date. So if my motivation is to get laid, then obviously you want to find someone that is motivated to get laid too.
Right.
Okay. If your motivation is to meet somebody and actually possibly have a connection going forward, then that's what you look for. So if you go in there and a girl's being super touchy and really aggressive, for me, red flag. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a hookup.
So they would be a jump girl, right? Is that the term?
Yeah,
Jump
that's
girl?
the term I want to actually coin. instead of
You better copyright it now.
instead of fuckboy, I want to call girls jump girls. So girls that basically like our guest, at 6 months is their average. They go,
Mhm.
this is not for me. And I do not mean that is they go around and sleep a lot. It's my term really with fuckboys and jump girls is they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
Or they're not in a place where they actually want a relationship yet.
Mhm.
Or they do want a relationship and they're just really like, hey, I haven't found the person that checks all my boxes.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
And honestly, I've seen a lot of people that were fuckboys and jump girls that once they actually found that person, they were the most loyalist fucking person on earth. Like so fucking loyal. Because they're like, I took forever to find this person.
Yeah.
And I am so ready to go forward, kind of thing. So when you're building your confidence back, you get rejected over and over and over and over again. It's hard to not get in your head.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? But a lot of it is approach, tactic, how you carry yourself, how you dress. Are you going right at them?
Well, that's where, as a therapist, it's like I'm in my head all the stinking time. That's kind of like professionally, I'm in people's heads, right? But it's hard to not do that. So what have you found that works for you to get out of your head?
Well, I think, like Ryan Gosling tells Steve's character a lot of time is, clean yourself up, make your clothes fit your body, come in with confidence, don't spew your life, like interact, active listening, ask them a question and then they say, oh, I do this. It's like, oh, that's really cool. What about that? Like, be genuine. Like, girls want genuine, just like guys want genuine people. We both sexes can tell when you're not being genuine.
Oh, yeah,
you're just
absolutely.
like, oh yeah, I'm just listening, kind of thing, But the goal is to really, I mean, your goal is to find somebody. You're like, whatever your motivation is for dating, that is your goal. So if your goal is to find somebody,
Yeah.
you don't go to a strip club to find a girlfriend kind of thing.
No.
It's like you go to the activities that
You might go to a strip club to find girlfriends.
to pay for the girlfriends kind of thing. So he teaches Steve how to have confidence in himself, because if you don't have confidence in yourself, then you're not going to have confidence to talk to somebody.
Well, one of the things that I've always tried to do, and I don't know if I just do it wrong, but like I've always tried to be just the genuine, like any profile I put out there, it was like, this is me, so they're real pictures. It's not like staged or anything like that. No filters. You get what you see is what you get. But like in my descriptions and of who I am, it's me. I always felt like being that genuine person is what people are, if they're interested in a relationship, that's what they're looking for. But then crickets. Yeah.
Well, and
so I guess the question then is like, and this is what I wonder about, is how can you tell after that first interaction or the first couple interactions who's actually genuine? Because everybody puts on the best face that they can, sometimes literally.
literally. Well, the biggest thing is when you're genuine with someone, you're not trying to pick them up. You're literally just talking to them like you just met them at the grocery store in a line, or you stepped on their foot on accident. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't turn a toe. Like, if your feet weren't so big, I wouldn't have stepped on them. It's like the playful banter on top of just talking to them. And I've had girls go like this. I go, okay, cool, you're married. I'm glad. I'm like, I'm not here to pick up a girl. I'm just here to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's funny is like once you say your motivation, and I have actually gone to girls like, hey, you're beautiful. You kind of took my breath away from across the room. I know that sounds like a fucking line, but I just wanted to come over and say hi, and maybe we could dance or something. And I had some say, not interested. And like, okay, cool. Appreciate you telling me that.
Yeah.
And not wasting my time and your time. And I had some like, I don't know, are you a good dancer? I'm like, well, is Phoebe a good dancer? Is Elaine a good dancer?
I don't know. How easily embarrassed are you?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, I found that like the coming straight on, bad. The people that are very aggressive and come straight on, generally people don't want to be like right in your face. They want like the casual interaction. I mean, the best story I ever had when it came to like being out with the guys. It's like my 21st birthday. We were at Stanford's and Sons, and Brandon and I could not decide if this girl's dress was black or green. And so him and I are just staring at this girl, who's gorgeous, but we both, girlfriends and whatnot. So neither of us are trying to hook up with anybody, but we're literally just eyeballing her, just making eye contact, looking up and down. She's like nervous, looking away, and she'd look up and see us staring at her, and we're just like, like talking.
And she's like, ooh, they're both interested.
And really
in me.
the
Nope,
conversation
it's
it's green, it's black, it's green, it's black. No, man, look, it's fucking green. I'm like, dude, I'll fucking go over there and see if it's green or not. And he goes, yeah, fucking do it. And so what do? I'm like, eye contact, walking to her, and I'm looking up and down. She's looking at me up and down. She's like biting her lip and shit. And I walk up, and I get about this close to her, and I go, fuck, it's green. I turn around and walk off. And I literally hear her go, what the fuck? Hold on a second. I go, I'm sorry. We were just trying to figure out if your dress was green or black. And that for me was like the biggest light bulb. Like, oh, shit. Like, I literally was like mind fucking her without even knowing I was doing that.
Right.
Which I don't ever want to do that to somebody, but it was like that game of I'm showing you I'm interested. I'm giving you the literally body language that shows that I'm interested, and then you act on it or not. And it really does come down to motivation and what your goal is, and then do you read the room?
See, and I guess for me it's just that lack of confidence, because like because I've had times where it's like people have been flirting with me, I'm oblivious to it because I don't believe that they are.
And there's nothing wrong with you. Go, are you flirting with me right now?
No, but see, that's too bold. I can't do that.
Son of a bitch. You so can.
No, but that's one of the things I like about the movie Crazy Stupid Love is that Ryan Gosling's character is like, he is just bold about everything, and Steve Carell is just like, that actually works.
Yeah.
Like when he's getting all suited up, and the girl that's helping with pick the clothes and stuff like that, Ryan Gosling's flirting with her, and he's like, hey, what do you think? And she's like, yeah, I'd do him. And he's like, wait, what?
Really? Yeah. He is. He's like, wait, what? Really?
Did you sleep with him?
Jesus God!
Yeah, probably.
What? You would?
So really, it brings us back to the movie with the whole Cal Weaver transformation.
Yeah.
And so him being not confident, like we kind of were just like diving into it. I'm like, whoa, we got to catch up to the whole segment.
Right.
So, him transforming into that personal makeover. And so over time, me being rejected, like I actually started asking girls, like, hey, can I just ask you a really quick question? Like, I know you just shot me down, but like, can you give me like advice about stuff?
Yeah, I've never done that.
And I actually had a girl go, your clothes are kind of baggy. Like, you don't look like you respect yourself.
Okay.
You don't feel like you carry yourself very well. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go buy Armani and all that stuff. She's like, you don't have to do that. Like, you're wearing a brewery T-shirt and shorts and flip-flops. Like, I don't want to date that. I go, you don't want to date that? And she goes, no, I'll marry that. But I don't want to date that right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it doesn't show me that you have confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what Ryan Gosling's character is trying to tell him. Like, carry yourself like you have confidence. Dress like you're dressing to impress, like fucking Barney Stinson. suit up, we're going out, kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, and so having those moments really help you understand what can I do to transform into the man that actually has confidence. Like, you don't want to fucking convert yourself into a fake persona.
Right, which is the thing that I worry about. But, you know, having the outside reflect the inside, right? So as you're gaining confidence, and one of the things that Ryan Gosling's character does is he has him just try these lines on these women, and all of a sudden it works once.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that it dawns on him. It works, okay. And then he starts gaining that confidence. But he, you know, started with the clothes, but then actually seeing the success of that player mindset is where he started getting the responses, and he and Cal started getting a whole lot more confident.
Yeah. Well, and the great thing is once he saw that, what is Ryan's character's name? Jacob?
Yeah.
Once Jacob's advice was legit and, okay, this does work, and he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try saying this. And he started pulling his own pizzazz, you know, his own
spin on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He personalized. He made it his own.
Yeah. And so then it became more genuine.
Yeah.
Like we were just saying.
Yeah.
And so Ryan's is just that cool, chill, Coke, no liquor in there.
Right.
At all, you know, because he never actually drank. and so it was his way of just being that guy laid back, that silent, cool guy with like just, hey, you want to go home? You want to get out of here? You know, kind of thing. Where Steve he's throwing the comedy, and I found that like a lot of girls love comedy, and there actually is a lot of skits out there where girls like, beware of the guy that makes you laugh. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, you're like, oh, yeah. And then you're waking up in the morning going, son of a bitch. I fell for it again.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I love that transformation. It's so like one of the things that I've been trying to do to kind of like build my own is that, you know, I've been losing weight.
Yeah.
So, because when I peaked at my max weight, I was just, it wasn't me. And I felt like I was complacent, and it just wasn't genuine to me. And so, you know, I've lost, 105 pounds at this point.
Well, and you started wearing baggier clothes.
Well, the clothes became baggy.
Well, no, even I.
As
your
I was
friend,
gaining. Oh, yeah.
Like people wear baggier clothes so you can't see the fat.
Right.
You start not doing things that are actually, hey, you wear more slimming things, you know, things that are tailored to your body. But instead, people start wearing more baggier, more flumpy.
And so as I've been losing the weight, I've actually I hate buying clothes because I don't like spending money. But how Steve Carell's character, like he started buying clothes that actually fit him, and he started looking better. I've actually been getting a lot of compliments that, from coworkers and things like that, where it's like, it feels good to hear those compliments, not because I'm like trying to, look better. I'm not trying to do it for other people. I'm trying to do it for me. But it's a nice, affirmation that like, okay, people are noticing it too. And it just makes me feel good.
Well, it makes you feel, and I understood that because I told you about my ex when she body shamed me.
Right.
Great episode. You should guys check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It literally was like, fuck you, I'm going to prove that it's you, not me, kind of attitude. And as I lost that weight, I did get noticed more. I did get more compliments. I did have people like, damn, you look good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Yeah, sweet.
Okay. You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
So
if it is funny, I'll be the judge.
All right. Here we go. So with the program that I've been doing to lose the weight, there's a health coach with it, and she asked me to post on Facebook my before and my after, and so I posted it. And my oldest daughter, who's a nurse in Ohio, who just got married yesterday, actually, love you. She told me that she was at work and she saw it come across her Facebook feed, and she was like, "Holy cow!" And she showed a coworker, and the coworker's like, "Wow, that's quite a transformation." She was like, "Yeah, that's my dad." And the coworker's like, "That's your dad?" And then like a couple other nurses and stuff were like, "Oh yeah, he looks good." And then finally there was like this pharmacy tech that she came up and she's like, "Let me see." And my daughter goes, "Yeah," she looked at it and she goes, "Yeah, he could get it." And I was just busting up laughing as she's telling me this. It was so funny. It felt good, but it was just it was funny.
They're like, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and it's I mean, it really does
It feels
help
good
you,
to feel good.
you know. And I think the people that are struggling, you do get in this mindset of they're not going to like me. They're not going to see me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Steve Carell's character got so put into dad mode
Yeah.
and spouse mode.
I love the scene where Ryan Gosling takes his shoes and just tosses them
Yeah.
over the ring.
Whoa, come on!
Or the wallet, where he opens the wallet. He's like,
Velcro.
he goes, where's your wallet? I'm like, Jesus Christ, if I had a wallet like that, please shoot me.
I did when I was a teenager.
Yeah, teenager. Because I didn't want to lose my $1.25.
Yeah.
I worked hard for that. That was like 6 hours of work. Picking weeds.
I've got a thick wallet full of receipts because I have no money.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. You know, so in talking about like the transformation that Cal's making and relating that, I mean, to my I feel like I'm in the middle of that kind of. But, you know, when we were teenagers back then compared to now, it's a lot different because even in Crazy Stupid Love, they're still in front of people. They're still going out and interacting with people instead of like, I've got teenage clients that are like, they walk up to a girl, hey, can I have your snap? You know, that kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
then that's how they communicate.
It actually works for them.
For them, yeah, well, it's
Hey,
a different
baby,
generation,
Can I
right?
have your snap?
But I can't, my mind doesn't go that way. It's like, I have to be in front of somebody, but you know, that transformation of being able to have the confidence to talk to people and to interact with people and to try out. I love how Cal, like, one of the things that Cal does is as he's finally getting into the stride of picking up women, he starts realizing that it's really not what he wants.
Yeah.
More and more, he wants his wife. He wants his family. And it's like, yeah, it's fun and exciting, but he misses the genuineness of his marriage. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, for me, I've never really gotten into like the playing, whatever, dating kind of stuff. I want somebody. I at this point, after 2 divorces, like, we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, but I still hope for it. You know?
Well, and I definitely understand that because it's like, I mean, well, I don't understand the two, but I understand like, shit, I fucking failed twice. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, I
I'm
think.
scared to do it again.
Yeah. And so your confidence is going to be a little different than a fuckboy confidence because you're like, I already failed twice. Like, I don't want to like fuck up again. Like, I'm getting old.
And the failure's relative.
And
It
I'm
wasn't
like,
all me.
yeah, oh, I know. But the twist of that is, you know, he did. Like, he's like, and God, it's just, you get to the point where you do. When you've been married and you have that companionship and you start building something with someone, that's what you want again.
I mean, I've with both marriages, I've been married for like 21 years out of my life. That's almost half of my life. And so, you know, there's the 18, you know, up to 18 that doesn't
21
matter,
years, 10 didn't count because you were, you know, pissing and shitting yourself for a little bit. And then you were like 12.
Right. You know, but as far as an adult, you know, 21 years of my adult life has been married with kids.
Yeah.
You know, and so that the whole, like, you know, sleeping around just never really was the thing. Yeah, married with children.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. Well, and like
Love and marriage.
I think
love.
I mean the writing of the movie is so good because you have the fuck boy that finally meets Emma Stone, gets rejected, and he's like, whoa, hold on, man.
Yeah, it's the first time he's actually gotten
He's
rejected,
like, what the
really.
fuck? You know, because she can read it. She's like,
Yeah.
you're a fuck boy, you're not serious. I want somebody serious. And then they throw in that it's Steve Carell's daughter in there too.
Yeah.
And the irony is Jacob goes to him for relationship advice on how to actually have a relationship.
Right.
And Steve Carell is like,
He
and
has no idea it's for his daughter.
well, and here's the beauty of it though, is the therapeutic part of that. And what I learned in therapy is if you're growing more distance, you focus on the good times you guys had and what you built.
Yeah.
And him talking about a relationship
Helps him.
and how to do that made him miss her more.
Yeah.
And Jacob helped him get the confidence back to where when she recognized at the birthday party that, oh my God, like, this is the man I fell in love with back then.
Mm-hmm.
And he found himself again. And he then realized, I do want her back, because he noticed that she made a fake call to come help me with something.
He sees.
And,
Well, and I love that at night he's like cutting her grass and trimming the bushes, trying like secretly, because he still loves her. He still cares about her.
and that's what's great about that movie is it's just
Trimming
like,
the bushes is not a metaphor.
I couldn't find it. But it was like one of those things where it was such a good weaving, and this is why we picked this movie, because it really had you lose yourself, you don't know who you are, you got to get that confidence back, you get the confidence back, play the field a little bit, and then you have the player that wants the relationship, builds a relationship, and they both literally help each other grow.
Yeah.
To basically him be with Emma Stone and him back with his wife.
Yeah, and it goes back to how did they find that genuine relationship? You know, for Steve Carell, for him to find it again by gaining that confidence, and for Ryan Gosling to discover it for the first time. And so it's like, they feed off of each other. Where Ryan Gosling starts off where he's like, "No, I'm going to help you."
Yeah.
And then
when he does, because it's killing his vibe in the bar,
right?
Because I think he cock blocks him a couple times on accident. And they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about your wife," and he's like, "Son of a bitch, dude! Come on, man, you're killing me," you know. And shit, I'm in there. And so it's just kind of one of those things that, in real life, you know, it's just you do get in a place.
It's messy.
And like we had with Vanessa, it's like you can date for so long, and then you're just like, man, I really want something real.
Yeah.
And it's when you see people like transition from the apps to try something different. And that's what I tell our listeners, that confidence doesn't mean you got to be a player.
No.
Confidence is being you. Be confident in who you are. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Like after my second relationship, she destroyed me to the point that I was like Steve Carell's character, like you were.
Yep.
Every little thing I said was stupid. I like anytime I tried to approach a girl, I just came off as maybe creepy, but really more.
Yes, you did. No, I'm just kidding.
Just really, no. Hello, what's your number? Can I get your snap?
See, that's creepy right there. That's extremely.
But it was just like, and it wasn't me even trying to like meet anybody. It was just like, hey, I just want to talk to somebody, and it just, I was in a bad place, and it wasn't until I fixed me, worked on me, got myself in a good place, that I built that confidence. And that's really what it is getting good on yourself, finding who you are, understanding who you are, and then who's going to fit my world.
Right, yeah, because like if you are a Trekkie or a Star Wars nerd, or if you're into comic books, there are lots of women who are also into that too. You just have to find them. You have to go to the right places, you know. But if you're trying to be something other than you are, you know, if you're a sci-fi nerd and you go, like, there's this I can't remember what show it's in, but there's the guy is at the bar and he like references Star Trek, and she's like, "You like Star Trek?" And he like finally breaks down and just says something in Klingon, and then she responds in Klingon. He's like,
just in my pants.
But it's one of those things where it's like, if you're trying to find somebody that is not a good fit for you, it's going to fail. You're going to get rejected. You're going to feel rejected. It's going to go horrible. That's, you know, going back to the rejection is part of the discovery process, right? And so finding the person that sees you for who you are, they see you for, you know, you see them for who they are, and you find that connection where it's like, hey, we can be each other's person. It's you know, it's about finding each other's crazy, and does it fit?
Yeah.
You know, getting past the mask that everybody uses at the bar or at the club or wherever, and discovering the actual real person. And I think the biggest fear that people have is that if we are truly discovered for who we are, we're going to be rejected again and again, especially after a divorce, because that's the person who knew us the most, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
They knew us in our good times, our bad times. They knew our faults. They knew our, you know, all that. And then the divorce is the ultimate rejection. When your spouse is the one that comes to you and says, I don't want to be with you anymore. You know, that's what, 14 and a half years of marriage, and then it's, I want a divorce. I'm like, what? I thought we were doing pretty well. It hurts. And it's hard to get over that, but through the process of, you know, rediscovering who you are, gaining that confidence back, getting out there and being willing to get rejected, that's how you learn to be able to discover the person that is the right fit for you, because obviously that other person wasn't. And like for me, you know, the first marriage, I was 22, she was like 19.
Well,
we were young.
The rejection part, once I learned that it doesn't fucking matter that I got rejected.
Yep.
And I think a really epiphany for me is we went to Mosaic, a nightclub with bottle service, all this stuff with my ex-wife and her coworkers and the boss, and I just watched this dude go from girl to girl.
Yeah.
I think he talked to like 30 girls, and then finally one was like all over him all of a sudden. And so I actually went to him and pulled him aside. I go, dude, what the hell? And he goes, yeah, it's a numbers game.
See, that's not my.
I go, so
that's not me.
Well, and I go, so is the numbers game like you trying to find like a girlfriend or whatever? And his was just to get laid kind of thing. Yeah. But the epiphany for me wasn't oh, how do I get laid? The epiphany was you just go without fear, and if you get rejected, the guy's like, okay, cool, she didn't like me. Okay, cool, she didn't like me. You know, and you just go forward, and in that kind of setting, you really are. I mean, you got what, a 10-second window,
right?
You know, the first impression kind of crap. Yeah. and so that's why this never really worked for me. Like, I was great at picking girls up, but I just couldn't like take them home or anything.
You weren't a closer.
I just because a lot of it is I didn't want to, kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Again, it's like, and I don't want to say so many. I had a lot of people go, whoa, hold on. Are we not doing something? I go, no, man, I'm out just hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not looking to get anything. And that was like that silent confidence, because I wasn't trying to get laid. I wasn't being a fuckboy. I was literally just being a genuine person going out and having fun.
Yeah, but how
cliche
not cliche, that's not the right word, but how common is that like girls go after the guy that's not available?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and the thing is women...
You're like, I was just having fun with you. I didn't want anything from you. And they're like, oh.
Well, and I wouldn't say that. I was just like, I was just hanging out kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how many girls go, why do guys not ever approach me? Why do guys never do this? Why do the guys never come to me? And it's like, because you guys are very unapproachable. When you have three girls and the one that you like, and you walk up and they start mocking you and putting you down, or are you buying us drinks? Are you going to buy us drinks?
Yeah.
If not, you can't talk to us. Well, my response is like, okay, fine, fuck you guys. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to buy you drinks to talk to you.
I don't really date.
Yeah,
I don't really date. I mean, I'm talking to somebody right now, but like, I don't really date because it's like, I don't want to go through that. I've been rejected enough where it's like, I don't want to feel that anymore. I know what it's like, and it's not necessarily a lack of confidence. It's I don't want to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think sometimes, actually at work, I was talking to a girl that she went on a date, liked the guy, but he just wasn't cute enough, was her response.
Right.
And I go, okay, so what's your plan? And she's like, what do you mean? Like, are you going to go out again? She's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's funny. I like him. He makes good money. He seems confident. I just don't like his looks. And I go, okay, then don't go out again.
Yeah.
I go, because that is a factor. If you're not attracted to him, that's not going to be good down the road. And it's just going to lead to problems. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, he's really not a good kisser either. Like, then you really need to end it. So I literally helped her end it with the guy.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, what are you going to do?
You know, and that's actually really good, you know, to have, if women have guy friends and they want to break up with somebody, just ask your guy friends how they would want it to be done.
Seriously.
Just do it that way.
And I just flat out said, just literally say, had a great time, not feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste your time.
Let it move on. And then you move on.
And they did, and it was a great interaction.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, appreciate it, thanks. And they were done. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool. We haven't talked about Steve Carell's character's kids, but his son is in love with a babysitter,
Yeah.
And it's so funny at the end of the movie where he's giving a speech for class and he totally throws away and declares his undying love for his babysitter. And at the end, she basically gives him hope.
Yeah.
So, can you find?
Take care, Robbie.
Well, and it's beautiful because of Steve Carell's character and Ryan Gosling's character, he sees that confidence and sees his dad like fighting for his mom again, and that gives him the confidence to
not
do
give
that
up
too. And that's what rejection is. It's like if you imagine this puzzle you have and you can't find that last fucking piece.
Yeah.
And you're just like looking all over the floor and under the table and under the dresser, and you can't find it. And you find a puzzle piece, but it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Or it's almost just right, and you're like pounding it in, trying to force it to fucking make it happen.
And a lot of people do that in relationships. Great metaphor.
And that was me my whole life. Like
Yeah.
I have been pounding that puzzle piece, and when I just literally stopped like forcing it and was genuine and just be me, and I just really like, hey, I love Marvel, I love Star Wars, I just really thought about what I liked. I want to find someone that complements that.
Yeah.
And I finally did.
Yeah.
And it's going great, and I fucking love her to death, and she's amazing, and
Good for you.
and it really happened because I stopped trying to force that puzzle piece into my puzzle. And and now it's like I took her puzzle and my puzzle, and we made a canvas of love and hope and connection.
So
You're
cheesy.
just so jealous.
Wow. Yes, a little
I
bit.
know.
No, and it's true because like some of my teenage clients that I've got one of them thinking of right now that hasn't really dated much. He likes some girls but he's nervous, he's scared, all that. And I've talked to him about like what dating is for. He's like, what's dating for? And I was like, dating is so that you can learn what are the personality traits you like, what are the personality traits you don't like, what are the red flags, the green flags. It's a process. The rejection is a process. You can almost look at it like a filter. When you go and you get rejected by somebody, you can almost thank them. It's like, thank you for showing me that you're not the right person for me.
I don't want that.
But I like this about you, but I don't like that about you, like the rejection. And so as we go about and explore and meet people and date and try people on, not in a weird way.
Shit on my face.
See, that's creepy.
I know. It sounded creepy.
Metaphorically. But in that process, if we're like you said, you started being genuine to who you were.
Yeah.
More and more. And as you became more genuine, you then ended up finding somebody that really was a good fit for you, is a good fit for you.
Yeah.
If we're not being genuine and real, if we're not being like Cal and we have to discover who we are, I have to gain that confidence and then become genuine about and be confident in who we are, then we have the chance of really truly finding that person. I think that is that great fit that can have a great relationship, and I wish you the best, jerk.
Thanks, buddy. No, I mean it really does. I think I know that my whole life I catered to other people.
Yeah.
And I changed to be what they wanted me to be.
Mm-hmm.
In every relationship. And when I, like Cal, kind of found who I was again and understood what I wanted and who I wanted to be, that's when I knew I was at the healthy me.
Yeah.
To find that puzzle piece that I
Right.
can put it in. Because when you're not healthy, you're just trying to be that fuck boy. You're trying to be that jump girl. Just trying to find the next best thing. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not finding that genuine connection, and that's why I love that movie so much. Is it just shows two different stories, of them finding their love of life and all that good stuff. And
Yeah,
then the little kid had the
Well,
confidence to.
it shows all of
figure
those
it out.
experiences and all of those perspectives of that struggle, and I think it's a great one.
Well, so we will put in our description, you know, the chapter stuff. But I did find a nice little tidbit of like how to build confidence.
Yeah.
Little workshop stuff that you could kind of work on to build that confidence, how to
I'll
interact with
definitely check it out.
people. Yeah, please, because you fucking need like half of them, like seriously. But yeah, check that out. You know, on YouTube, it'll be in the description. I think it's on the description, you know, on Spotify and stuff like that too. But check that out. We appreciate you guys coming. Hit that like and subscribe. You know, follow us on other episodes and
let us know what you think of this one. Previous episodes, tell us what you think, and you know, maybe even tell us what you'd like us to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from you.
All right, guys. Stay classy, Kansas City.
What just happened?
Okay, we're not doing
What?
that again.
No.
No more snapping. Fucking Thanos.